Hello everyone, Leah here. In today's video, I have an art supply unboxing slash reveal. I've been collecting some art supplies over the last few months in like small batches as I order just like 5 or 6 items at a time. And I thought I would just share them all at the same time because I actually did record a video previously where I'm going to show you. I had actually already recorded a swatching of me doing some of the colored pencils when they first arrived, and my puppy was adorable. He insisted on sitting in my lap and being a part of the process. It made it a little hard to draw, but I mean, look at him. He's so cute. Anyways, I ended up getting more art supplies. So yeah, I just thought let's combine it into one video instead of having all those tiny little art supply hauls. What I'm unboxing right now is some art supplies that I got from a place called Delta Art. It's an art supply store in Alberta. I'm in Ontario, so it took a little bit of time for it to get here, but once it did and I opened these boxes, I felt, the colors, they're so beautiful. I can't wait to show them to you as I am future Leah right now doing a voiceover. So I know how beautiful they turned out, and I'm so glad I took a risk and tried them because look how cute they look right now, like the color of the barrel of the colored pencil. Beautiful. And I have a bunch of different brands here that are, some of them are new to me and some of them are tried and true brands that I absolutely love. So let's take a quick look at the brands that I'm going to be swatching, and then we'll dive right in to actually looking at the colors themselves. I have a few of the Derwent Light Fast. These are new to me. I might have to do a separate review video for them, but each one came with a label on them, and they do peel off, but I mean, it took some effort. One of them wouldn't even peel off for me. So I don't know if it's just me or the batch I got. But anyways, these here are the Luminance colored pencils from Caran D'Ache. They are one of my favorite brands. I absolutely love them. Another one that I picked up that's new to me is the Holbein colored pencils. I love their watercolors and their gouache, and Holbein is a staple brand, but I've never purchased their colored pencils before because of how expensive they normally are, but they were on sale. And then I grabbed a bunch of Prismacolor colored pencils. Here in Canada, you can get these fairly inexpensively, but they were on sale at the time for like $1.25, I think. And I was like, gotta stock up. I also grabbed some more of the Faber-Castell Indian ink markers. I use them as watercolor markers. And then while I was at it, I thought I'd grab a few of their brush pen versions of the same thing. These ones came out before the dual tip, and I just wanted to see really what is the big difference between the two. I mean, I know that they're smaller, obviously, and instead of having a dual tip and it's just a small brush tip, but I wanted to see if they're just as juicy and great. I also picked up a white of the Marabou art crayons. Okay, I felt like that was a tongue twister. My brain just could not get it out. Let's dive into swatching them out. I'm going to go by brand versus by color order. And I am using my Talons Art Creations sketchbook. My reasoning behind this is the fact that I use these a lot when I'm sketching with my mixed media supplies, like my colored pencils and watercolor markers. But the paper itself is a creamier color versus a bright white. So I like seeing how these colors are going to appear on this paper, which is the only reason why I'm doing it in this. Normally in the past, I've done all of my swatching in white paper so you can just get the true color, but I find that most of my stuff is in this sketchbook nowadays, so it's really important for me to see it. And I think it's important for you guys too, that when you are swatching out your new stuff, swatch them out on the paper that you use the most so you can see how it's going to perform on it. Like with this color here, it's the oyster color from the Derwent, which is their Light Fast. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Like I can see it while I'm looking at it, but it's such a faint, pale, white, purpley color that when it's drawn out super soft, you can barely see it. But when I put pressure down, you can see it, and it's a very nice color. I think it's going to layer really well. The one that I'm drawing right now is their mid ultramarine. I'll show you later, but I actually expected this color to be a little different than what it is. Like, I think drawing it out, it's a beautiful light blue color, but based on the swatch, it doesn't match. As for smoothness, I was expecting these colored pencils to be a little bit softer. I know they're supposed to be on the harder side, but they have been described by others as being a nice soft colored pencil to have that's just not as flaky as other brands. So it's a combination of hard and soft, but it feels smooth to draw with. But I don't know. I don't know. They're still new to me. I'm getting used to them. If you have this color brand, let me know in the comments below. Do you like them? This color here, I'm absolutely obsessed with. It's their Bordeaux color. And it reminds me of my most favorite sweater that I don't wear anymore because it's gotten all bally on the inside, so it's uncomfortable in my arms. But it's that color and I love it so much. Next up, I'm going to be swatching the Holbein. They feel different in the hand. I don't know how to describe it, but when I hold them, they have this, I don't know, airiness to them. They feel light, and yet the barrel feels thicker. They have a nice sensation in the hand. So right here is when I was drawing out, I realized just how different the swatches are. So as you can see, the mid ultramarine swatch is so dark in comparison to the swatch when you draw it, where the other two colors match so well. And then I got a little nervous that these weren't going to match, but they do. So the first color up that I'm doing is Jaune Brilliant. And when I started to draw with this, I was like, whoo, oh my goodness, it's so smooth. It has I don't know how to describe it. It just feels creamy when I draw with these Holbeins. I can see why other people rave about them. The only downside is that they're a little hard to get here in Canada. And when I saw that they were on sale at Delta Art, I was like, I gotta try them. Next up is Cherry Blossom. When I say this is the perfect pastel pink, I am not kidding. It is the perfect pink. I am obsessed with it. So I'm Future Leah, right? Future Leah uses this pink a lot. Next up is Jade Green. And as soon as I started swatching this, I got a little worried because I also got a new green from Luminance, and I was like, oh no. They look so much the same. I'm gonna have to swatch them out and see if they look alike. But this Jade Green is a beautiful greeny turquoise color that I have also been obsessed with and using in almost all of my illustrations. So nice. Okay, so I'm gonna go in a weird order now because I just had to see if my Luminance, their Beryl Green, if it was going to be identical. Luckily it's not. It's actually kind of a nice darker version of it, and using them together I feel goes so well. Like they're a cohesive pair to use, so you have like a light and a shadow version of it. Beautiful. Next up, I am swatching out the Luminance's Chersola Blue. Okay, I know I butchered that. I will, at the end of swatching out all of these colors, show you them up close so you can get a better look at the colors in case there is a color that you absolutely like. I'll also have written down the name of the color underneath it so you can screenshot it to get the proper spelling in case you're like, I have to add that to my wish list. This one here is Bleu de Nims. Nims? I think I'm pronouncing that right. you can correct me if I'm wrong. It is a violety blue that has this purplish undertone, and it's beautiful. I love it so much. Next up is their Anthraquinoid Pink. Yeah. At this point, when I was recording it, I was struggling so hard to pronounce it on camera that I was just like, eh. Okay. This pink has a orangey tinge to it, and I really like using it when I'm doing fruits and vegetables. It's kind of one of those things that has this nice pink color to it for those kind of subjects, in my opinion. Next up is burnt ochre. I got this one expecting it to be a little bit darker because I do have burnt ochre 10% and 50%, and I love them so much. So I wanted to round out my percentages by getting the full one, the 100% burnt ochre. Even though it's not as dark as I thought it would be, it's still a really nice color to have in my collection of colors because I do gear towards grabbing it quite frequently. This one here is burnt sienna. It is not a normal burnt sienna color. Like if I were to grab a burnt sienna in a paint color, I'd be so surprised if this came out of a tube. But as a colored pencil, I feel like it works really well as an accenting color that I use when using burnt sienna as a paint. So even though it's so dark, it works with my flow, so I'm okay with it. Next up is sepia 10%. It's kind of like I don't know, I'm staring at this swatch up close right now. It's kind of like I want to say a purplish gray color, and I like it. I like it as a swatch, but I haven't yet figured out how to work it into my color palettes. I purchased these more neutral colors like the one where I'm doing right now, which is raw umber 10%, because I feel like I need to add some more earthy neutral colors into my palettes, but I haven't figured out a way to balance them out just yet. It could be the ones that I purchased. The raw umber has kind of a stony gray color to it. It's beautiful, but I don't know if it's for me. And then this one here is a Prismacolor, and it's their Pale Sage. Oh, I love this color. If I could bottle it up and make a non-acrylic paint color with it, like a nice gouache or an inks of some kind, I would. It's so nice. Okay, now that I've done those ones, I'm gonna like switch the page over here and get more into the Prismacolors. The one that I'm gonna do next is called Yellow Chartreuse. I don't even know how to describe this. When I was first swatching it out, doing this one right here, I noticed that I got these scratchy, bright, but they're a dark green scratched into it. And I was like, where did that pigment come from? And I was staring at the lead of the pencil, or the core of the pencil, and I couldn't see where it was coming from. So it's like this batch just didn't get mixed very well. So I thought maybe it was just on the tip of it or something. Anyway, so I did 3 swatches of it. It is a nice color. It's quite bright. So if you're looking for a really bright yellow that's on the greener side, it's a great color. And the next one I'm doing is called Yellow Orange. And this is what I would call actually a classic orange color. It's really nice. I do love using it when I'm doing my, fruits and stuff, when I'm just swatching. I don't really use orange typically in flowers. I have in the past for a few of my previous videos when I was playing with gouache, but it's not one of my normal colors that I lean to, but I love it. I love it so much. This one here is Salmon Pink. The swatch color doesn't match the barrel color, which is okay. It's a nice salmon. I would call it a typical salmon color. Next up is the pale vermilion. I actually really love this pale vermilion paired with the yellow orange. They make a really nice pairing when I do my abstract landscapes. It has a nice, I don't know, like it's a warmer vermilion, because you can get two types of vermilions. I find when it comes to your supplies, you can get like an orangey vermilion or a deep red type vermilion, and this one's more on the orangey side, and it's a really nice color. Up next is the chartreuse. So if you're looking for a deeper version of that yellow chartreuse on the greener side, this is the one to go with. It's a vibrant green, and it reminds me so much of my favorite Tombow marker that I was like, ooh, I think I'm going to use this a lot. Now I'm going to be swatching out the Faber-Castell dual marker artist pit markers. Ooh, I feel like sometimes things are tongue twisters or just really hard to get out of my mouth. This one here is phthalo green. The marker does not match the barrel swatch color at all. I was expecting it to be a lighter color, especially based on the swatch that I saw online when ordering it. And despite the fact that it's not what I thought it would be, I use it all the time. This brown here is called cinnamon, and it starts out pretty dark, but it lightens up to a nice, smooth, light brown color. It pairs well with the next one that I'm going to be swatching, which is their sanguine. I think I said that right. Because this one here is a nice deep brown, so when you use them together, they work so well together. Now, with these ones here, as you can see, they are very small. The Pitt Artist Brush Pens have such a small brush nib. Like, let me just show you them for a second, side by side. They are very different. And I can say that now that I've been using them for a while, the brush tips are great for getting those smaller, finer details, and I really love it for that. This one here is the light yellow glaze. It is so pale that I love using it for layering. So I'll do it as an underlayer and then I'll layer on top of it. The one I just swatched is their beige red. I have it also in the watercolor marker color, but I gotta say, I think their Indian ink version for this is much better. Oh, sorry. And that color there was their Caput Mortem. It's also a really nice dark color. Okay, now is when I'm just going to show you the colors up close so you can screenshot anything. I apologize at the moment because I was in my dining room and there's a shadow coming in from the window, but you can still see the colors. They're very beautiful. And you can see here, you can see the scratches that I was talking about in the yellow chartreuse. But if you are looking for that vibrant fluorescent type yellow color without actually getting a fluorescent yellow, I would say that's the color to get. And the Caput Mortem, I love it when I'm doing like really small details. All right, so at this point in the video, I want to share with you how I go about selecting color palettes. At the time of me recording this, I had a big appointment coming up where I knew I was going to be spending quite a bit of time sitting around, waiting, feeling anxious, and I knew I was going to be taking my Ultimate pencil case with me. And I wanted to include a bunch of my new colored pencils and supplies, along with my favorites that I've been really gravitating towards. And I wanted to find, what colors would go well with them. And I thought this would be a good thing just to share with you because I know it can be daunting to have all these different supplies and not knowing what colors go well together, what colors you should use together, what colors you feel like using together, and it can be just overwhelming. And especially when you buy new art supplies and then you look at all the ones that you currently have with your new ones, and you're just like, sometimes you can have buyer's remorse and just think, what have I done? How am I even going to use these colors with the ones that I really like to use? Those kind of things. Especially if you do any splurge purchases or impulse buying or anything like that, or you watched another artist's video like mine or any others, and you're like, oh, I absolutely love that color. She makes it looks beautiful, or they have this amazing array of choices. I need to buy those too. How do I then work those into what I have? This is my method to the madness, and that is to lay it all out in front of me, grab my pencil case, have it next to me, and just grab the first thing that draws my attention. And for me, that was my chartreuse colors. I absolutely love my Tombow chartreuse. It is my favorite go-to bright, vibrant green. And then I absolutely was obsessed at the time with my minty color Tombow. And then I was like, wow, look how great these colors look together. I wonder how good the phthalo green will look next to it. And I was like, oh, these greens look awesome together. And from there, I just started asking myself questions like, what colors do I like next to these things? What colors am I drawn to? What might I draw? And when you're drawing anything, it could be an abstract landscape, fruits, vegetables, flowers. It doesn't matter what colors you use. I suggest using what's drawing your attention. But at the moment, I was talking to the camera and I was like, you know what? I'm really in the mood to do tropical landscapes. So I was like, all right, browns. I need some browns for trees and earth and colors like that. So I grabbed colors that I already have that are my go-tos, and I started just scribbling them down and mixing them in with some of the colors that I purchased recently in that haul. And then I just started to ask myself, of the colors that I have, are these the right browns? Should I have a lot of browns? Is this too many browns? It's okay to second guess yourself when you're swatching out your colors. It's okay to put a color down and say, I'm not sure about it. The method to my madness is if I put a color on top of my pencil case, that's a surefire color that I'm going to use. That's a color that's definitely going in there. But if I'm laying it on top of my sketchbook or between my sketchbook and the pencil case, then those are colors that I'm thinking about. I might include it. I liked it, but I'm not sure about it. Those kind of colors. And then once I've created a nice pile on my pencil case, I'll then go, you know what? I think I've got the right amount of colors. Let's see how much space I have left in my pencil case before I start rounding out my palette. The pencil case that I'm using here is of my own creation. It's the Ultimate Pencil Case Mini. And what I love about it is the fact that even though it's small, it can fit so much. And it fits the big juicy markers. So I am able to fit in my new Faber-Castell dual tip markers. I'm able to have Posca pens, even though they are not included in today's palette, but it fits a lot of stuff in there. I'm actually editing this video while laying in bed today because I am having a good day post a flare-up of a week's long flare-up, and I'm just trying to get some work done but also resting my body. And right now next to me is the Ultimate Mini, and I have it jam-packed. So there's pockets, the elastic areas are full, everything's full, so you can fit a lot. But for the purpose of the reason why I was putting this pencil case palette together was going to a doctor's appointment. I don't like carrying a lot with me just in case I drop it or I accidentally leave something behind. I don't want to have anything like that. So I like to keep it minimal to the supplies that I'm using. So I like to fill in with the ones that are the surefire colors, and then I will start to round out my palette. And that's when I start asking myself the questions further once I've done that is, okay, what direction is this palette going in? And because I was already screaming tropical landscape to me, I started to really gravitate towards those color options within the ones surrounding me on the table. What kind of things would I like to include in that color palette? Do I want to include yellows? Do I want to include pinks and purples and blues? Like, ultramarine is one of my go-to colors no matter what color palette I'm putting it together. But does it fit with these? Is it the right blue to have for a tropical sky? You know, anything like that. Just start asking yourself questions. And I think then instinctually you'll start to fill in the answers and finding the right colors for you. Don't sit down and automatically start thinking about color theory and blues go well with oranges and greens go well with reds and pinks and these kinds of things. Don't think about those things. Allow instinct to take over. And don't forget to swatch them out as many times as you want on the sheet of paper that you're using. So I'm currently using my sketchbook, but historically speaking, I very much enjoy using just scrap sheets. I use printer paper, or some people call it cartridge paper, but just basic paper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And what I love about it is, oh, wait. 1 second. I just noticed what's going to be on the screen. At this moment in time, while swatching and testing out my new Holbeins, I noticed how other colors layered on top. And I was just like, that's amazing. I love that. This is, oh my goodness. So, side note, doing things like this allow you to see how your supplies interact with one another, and it gives you an idea of what you might want to use layered together in your palette. Okay, back to why I love using scrap sheets of paper. My reasoning behind that is I hold on to them. So I might use these scrap sheets of paper for mixed media type of layering. I might cut it up and use it for something else. I also like having these as a doodle page, because when you're amid a flare-up and you know you need to create to distract your brain or to calm your mind, but you don't have the energy to do a full-blown drawing, illustration of some kind, or a painting, being able to just flip to this page in your sketchbook or grab that sheet if you have it reasonably accessible to you, and then grab a black pen or a white Posca pen or anything like that and add dots, doodles, scribbles, shapes on it. It can be quite soothing and healing and helpful for you on your journey towards healing by using art as a tool towards healing. Okay, now at this point in time of the video, I want to skip ahead to a portion where I realized in the filming process that I had forgotten to swatch out the two white items that I had purchased. One of them is a Faber-Castell Pit Artist chiseled tip pen. It's supposed to be white ink. It has an interesting edge. I thought it'd be really cool to add to my collection of white colors that I could use. But this is where I realized it doesn't work. at all. It's just dry. Like there's nothing there. And I don't know if that's because for some reason I just got the dud and it was dry, or if that's just typical of this material and it's not a super opaque pen. So if you've ever used these, you let me know in the comment section below, because I was disappointed. As for the Marabou Art Crayon, I was so excited for this because I love using my art crayons for a base layer when I'm doing my gouache paintings now. And right now on screen, I'm just swatching out with colored pencil, a dry kind of marker, because I think the brush pen for the pit are dry markers, and then the super juicy gold Faber from Faber-Castell watercolor marker. And I just want to draw the white on top to see how it layers. Spoiler alert, it's not very opaque. It's a little disappointing, actually. Another white material that was disappointing. But do you guys have supplies that you purchase because you're like, oh my god, that's amazing, I love it, I already use this brand, and then you get a different color and you're like, yick? Or you watch a video and you're like, oh, that looks so cool, that artist makes it look so amazing, and then you buy it and you're like, yick? Let me know in the comment section below, and yeah, just let me know what ones you don't like. Okay, so I've reached the end of today's video. If you have any comments or questions about the supplies I used here today, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll work together with putting together like a video or anything like that. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and until next time, stay magical.